So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at Palantir, a stock that currently makes up just under 5% of my whole stock portfolio. And one that I've mentioned a good few times on this channel, but we haven't done too many dedicated videos on the stock, and quite a number of you guys have been asking for my current thoughts on Palantir stock. So in this video, we'll discuss Palantir and see if it is a buy, a hold, or a sell in my opinion. Thanks to a 5% increase in the stock just today at the time of recording this video, Palantir currently sits at $13.96, which equates to a market cap of just under $28 billion. Now 2022 has been a bad start to the stock market for pretty much every single stock, and for Palantir it's no different, with it seeing a decrease of 25% just this year so far. But I wouldn't chalk this decrease down to the company doing bad, or even people expecting the company to do bad in the coming year here. Instead, it was just more the market sentiment. Pretty much everything was down, and there was lots of fears around potentially even a World War III, inflation, etc. But thankfully, a lot of these fears seem to be unjustified, and we're starting to see a bit of a bounce in the stock market today especially. And before we get any further into the video, if you guys could take a second to drop a like on this video, it really would help out the channel. And please consider subscribing to the channel as well, as we're very close to 5,000 subscribers. So just quickly in relation to my portfolio, as I said, Palantir currently is just under 5% of my total stock portfolio, which equates to around 113 shares or €1,400. And on this position, I'm currently in the red by 27%, with my average buy price being around $19. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick idea of where my current portfolio is sitting at, and that will kind of help fuel the discussion about this stock right now. Now in this video, I won't go exactly into what Palantir as a company does. If you want more information on that, I'll link to one of my previous videos where I completely discuss the company and what they actually do. In this video, we're more going to focus on what I think their outlook will be like in terms of revenue over the next year or two. And then, as I said, my summary on if it is a buy, hold, or a sell in my opinion. Not financial advice, of course, just my own opinion. So basically, if we look at 2019 for Palantir, just at a breakdown of the government income and also the civilian income, which is basically just anything non-government, we can see that in comparison to 2020, it was quite low, but still going in a positive direction from the previous year. But then when we come to 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, government spending increased drastically, and Palantir was one of the key companies throughout the pandemic for a lot of work from the government, especially in areas such as supply chains, which is still having a continued effect on a lot of the world's economy. But anyway, Palantir, being a great company in their field, managed to win a lot of these government contracts and therefore had a lot of revenue related to the government in 2020. Then in 2021, as we started to slightly come out of the pandemic a bit, government spending started to pull back, and we can see that affected Palantir's numbers for the year of 2021. So far, we only have 3 quarters of 2021, as the 4th quarter results for 2021 will be released roughly on the 17th of February 2022, which is only a couple of days away. And it's estimated that Q4 2021 results will come in under what it was the previous year, indicating a negative year-on-year growth. But again, I think you need the full context to understand that while it will likely be a negative year-on-year growth, if we look at 2019 for example, and then we skip forward to 2021, that is actually still a positive growth chart. But it just so happens that 2020 was a bit of an abnormal year in terms of government spending, and Palantir did take advantage of that. But if you didn't have all this information, it would look potentially like Palantir had a peak in 2020 and are now on a downward trajectory, which just simply isn't the case when you step back and take a look. Palantir are continuing to win government contracts, and as well as that, increasing their civilian business. As I said, that's anything outside of government contracts. And they're definitely one of the world's leading companies when it comes to AI as well, which I think will be a massive industry going forward. Another thing to keep in mind as well is that Palantir are very interested in acquiring smaller companies in the space that they think have a lot of potential, and therefore will also give opportunities for Palantir stock price to grow. So overall, as I said, if you take a step back, it's actually positive growth when we look at 2019 to 2021, and Palantir is definitely going in the right way in my opinion in terms of winning more contracts and offering better services. And with a stock price at around $13 or $14, things are very interesting right now when it comes to looking at Palantir as an investment option. If we just take a look at TipRanks, which is a great website where you can basically just type in any stock and see what analysts are basically talking about it, what some of their price targets are, and we can see for Palantir the lowest estimate in the next 12 months for the stock is $18, which would indicate a 32% upside from here. The average price target for Palantir across these analysts was $21, indicating a 62% increase from here. And then the highest estimate from these analysts was a $25 stock price for Palantir, which would indicate a 92% increase from the current stock price. Me personally, I'll be edging on somewhere around the $18 to $20 for my price target for Palantir over the next 12 months. They have had a bit of a rough time on Wall Street, just the way that they were lumped in with the likes of GameStop and AMC and that whole kind of genre of investing, but they are an extremely solid company. So for me, I still think Tesla is a better opportunity for me to have my money in right now, and that's why I have such a big split between the two, about 94% of my portfolio being in Tesla and just under 5% of it being in Palantir. But I still think they're a good company to have in your stock portfolio as a long-term investment because, as a long-term investment would suggest, I think they will do very well over the long term, and they're in a great industry and they're poised to take a lot of the market share. So for me right now, my current position, I'm just continuing to hold, maybe picking up a little bit more if it stays around the $12 or $13 range over the next couple of weeks here, but I would see it reaching between $18 and $20 in the next 12 months. But again, this is just my own opinion. Please don't take this as investment advice. Make sure you do all your own research. But anyway guys, they are my thoughts on Palantir. Just wanted to come on and give you guys an update because a lot of you were asking for my current thoughts on Palantir, so hopefully this video has been useful. Again, if you could take a second to drop a like on this video, that'd be greatly appreciated, and let me know down in the comment section below as well your thoughts on Palantir and what you're currently doing with the stock. And just one final mention, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing, maybe even telling one of your friends about the channel because we are very, very close to 5,000 subscribers and it would be great to hit that milestone. Anyway guys, thanks for watching and I'll catch you in another video.